So I had like this dream where I was invited to a party. This party was like a baby shower or some sort of a gathering. I'm not sure what it was really, but it was to me in the dream it appeared like a baby shower because there was like a lot of women. It was one of those gatherings where there's lots of women and less men. So as I was there, I was sitting on a couch, just chilling there with my 2-year-old son, and somebody came and offered me a drink. So because it's a party and there's a lot of people and there's people serving others, and just a random stranger just offered me a drink, and maybe I was not the only person that I was given the drink. But what I remember was when I tried to open it, I noticed that the top of the bottle was already open, as in, like, it was almost like broken. So somebody went past through me, and I asked them to exchange the drink for me, that I can have something else. And mind you, it was alcohol, and I don't drink alcohol. So it was a cider bottle of alcohol. I don't know what alcohol it was, but it was alcohol. I remember in the dream it was just alcohol, and I still accepted it. But in reality, I don't drink. Okay, so anyway, this person that I asked to change the drink for me because it was broken, um, took the bottle, didn't say anything, took the drink, um, and poured it on the sofa or couch, a leather couch. And when he poured it there, it was acidic. The couch, the leather, immediately melted. It was destroyed. It just melted there. I was so shocked. It was destroyed by the what appeared to be the acid of the drink or something. And when they were pouring it on the couch, he literally looked at me and did not say anything. So basically he was saying to me, see what this was. This was meant to kill you. This was meant to harm you. So this is what you were going to drink. Imagine what this was going to do to your intestines, to your inner physical body. I was so shocked. I was like, what? And the very same person, this male figure, like I said, the party had like a lot of women there, and just this male figure that just appeared from nowhere. And he after he showed me what the drink was, that it was not what I thought it was, he walked out with me, as in like he was telling me, leave this place now, let's go. And he escorted me outside. I was still with my son, so he held my son's hand. I was disappointed, I was emotional, I was hurt by what just occurred. In my head I was like, who would try to harm me? Why would they do that? Was I going to die from drinking that? I was just shocked and disappointed and hurt, and I was all emotions, right? And then when we walked out of the whatever house or the party, we we were walking by the roadside. I was still like not feeling well after what was shown to me. And he doesn't say anything, but he was very supportive. I don't know this person. I've never seen them before. They're not familiar to me. So they were like walking with me and my son, and even though I was crying on the way, and I would even like walk slow, they would wait for me. And he was very patient with me. He was very kind until I got home. And when I got home, um, there was like a lot of gifts that were waiting for me. That kind of shocked me, like, where did all of this come from? So I woke up from the dream. Okay, so that was the dream. I don't personally I would say I don't personally relate to the dream, okay, or maybe I do, but I do feel there's a message in the dream for somebody, okay, but personally maybe not yet for me, but I do feel like there's a message for somebody. I just want to ask you to be careful. Sometimes we attend gatherings, whether it's family gatherings, baby showers, friends, colleagues, Christmas parties, you name them, you know, all these parties that we normally would attend with our loved ones and whatever. What, you know, we love those people, we love our family, we love our friends, we love our colleagues, our bosses, whosoever, but not all the time we are safe. Not all the time we are guaranteed safety in terms of some of those gatherings. There's people that we don't know, people who know people we know, but we don't know them. So what I'm trying to say is that not all the time you will recognize your enemy, okay? And some people come in sheep's clothing, hiding their true identity in character. This is a very dangerous world we live in, because it's very hard to trust someone's. You easily get betrayed by the most closest people to you, your friends, your family, your colleagues, your neighbor. Anyone can quickly disappoint you by betraying you. Personally, I've been betrayed so many times, and what I learned through the betrayal, I always tell myself now that the reason I got betrayed is my fault. Why do I say it's my fault? I say it's my fault because whenever I would begin a new connection, new relationship with a friend, or even if it's a romantic connection, I would see red flags, like signs that this person was not right for me, or they would do things that I don't agree with, or things I don't like, things that were offensive to me, but I still chose to give them a chance and say, no, it's okay, it's probably my fault, maybe they didn't mean it. So I would make up excuses for them, and while making up those excuses for them, I would still pour into them a lot of love and respect. And the more I poured into them, the more they drained me. So I was pouring into them my positive energy of love, of peace and abundance, being helpful, being kind and respectful towards them. Whereas because I didn't know their mindset, I was making up excuses for their behavior, and I would keep pouring to them while they drain my energy and take all the kindness, the love and everything as a form of weakness, as a sign of weakness, that she's weak. You know, some friends, when you are too kind and helpful and they come over and over again seeking your help, and they're always there to provide that help, to give whatever they're asking for, they would take it as, oh, no matter how much she keeps giving and I don't give back, she still continues to, you know, to help me, to give me. That means she's stupid. She must be definitely stupid. She doesn't see, you know, behind the veil. That's how people we love and trust sometimes behave, or how they are, you know. And that's how I got betrayed. So I always say that the reason I got betrayed and hurt, disappointed by a lot of people in my life, is because I allowed it. Family members, colleagues, neighbors, friends. It's because you keep on being kind and allowing people to enter into your life and do as they please. As much as you don't agree with some of those things, sometimes you don't even voice them. You don't say how you feel. You don't speak your truth. You are afraid to express yourself. You shy away because you don't want to be attacked. You know, sometimes when you want to speak your truth, you'll find people who are very defensive, and most of the time people who are defensive are the ones who are on the wrong side. So they would be defensive. And because maybe you're an empath like myself, I would avoid arguments and be like, you know what, I don't want to argue. If I tell this person that, you know, this is how I feel, or this is wrong, or this is right, I know for sure they would defend themselves, because I know the type of character they are. So I would always avoid, you know, saying anything, and so allow people to get away with disrespecting me, with ill-treating me, with using me. And no matter how much offended or hurt or disappointed I would feel, I would just still be there for them. Hence, I always say that I betrayed myself. The reason I say that is because now that I've awakened to my truth and I've discovered who I am and developed self-love, because self-love for me is my weapon, the weapon that I used to heal the past wounds, the past traumas, the past hurt, and the past pain, everything. I started loving myself, and I started realizing that no one has a right to hurt me. No one has a right over me. It has to be me first before others. I always put myself first before others because of my past experiences. So now I know that I do not allow people to come into my life to destroy, to hurt, to bring pain and suffering and get away with it. It's easy for me to spot them from the word go, from the beginning. When I see those little signs, I already know you don't belong in my life. And I don't hesitate to block, to cut contact, to cut ties, distance myself, ghost you, whatever. I don't care. I just do it. I just do it because of, you know, I know where I come from. One would say that you are creating very high walls in your life, that you are blocking out even the ones that are blessings because of the past trauma. But when after you've healed your past, because before you say that I love myself and I choose myself, you have to also heal the past pain, the past trauma. How would you know that you have healed? Whenever certain memories of the past come, they no longer hurt you. And once you have healed, it's easy for you to tell when somebody comes with evil intentions. You know, you don't immediately cut them off. You observe. You are learning them. And they will carry the very same traits or techniques that the previous people used to do. And you will know that, okay, this is not good. And you will use your discernment to say, okay, you know what? Now is the time. I'm cutting it. It can even take like weeks or months to say, I noticed this person's evil intentions on me a long time ago, but I was just observing, you know, not allowing them to, you know, get away with it, but just observing, where is this going? And you will find that the more you observe, the more you see those traits, the more you see those signs, and then you know, okay, now it's time to cut ties. Okay, so this helped me a lot. My healing, my self-love journey, my awakening to self, it helped me a lot to be able to discover my truest identity within myself. And I now no longer, like currently I don't have friends, I don't have anyone. My friends, I always tell my, you know, my older kids that they are my best of friends, not because I share everything with them, but because they are always with me, you know, and for that I'm forever grateful. I don't have like friends to discuss I don't know if I may say worldly things with. I only keep to myself. I pray a lot. That's my best friend. God is my best friend. I pray a lot when I'm feeling down, disappointed by personal problems such as bills, and you know, I was trying out a project and it didn't work out, and I don't have a friend to vent to, but I always turn to God. I always pray. I fast a lot, I pray, I journal a lot. This is how I find my comfort, my healing, my growth, I feel that I evolve every time I do that. I feel like a brand new me is coming out because I discover new things about myself. It's so funny how God works. When you surrender yourself to God and you hand yourself to Him and tell Him all of your problems and you only depend on Him and not other people, He becomes your best friend too. Your best friend too, because you're able to hear His voice, and sometimes you pray and He answers you immediately in different forms. You know, sometimes I would know, like, a message would pop up on my phone that this is the message that God wants me to hear, and I was just praying about this. Sometimes I would go to the mall and I would see somebody's t-shirt with a message on it, and I would think, oh my God, that is so related to, you know, my current situation, or what I was praying about. So this is how God would answer you sometimes, when you solely depend on Him and have no one else to take advice from. Like, that's how I do. So I always keep, like, to myself, because as human beings, we always encounter problems. God never said that when you come to me you will never again, you know, see problems or experience challenges. You will, and when you do, it's very important that you know who your best friend is and you know where to go when that happens, because it's easy for you to sell your soul, sometimes fall into the pit, because taking other people's advice may mislead you or lead you astray, and you will fall into the trap of the enemy, you know, trying to take somebody's advice. It was not your intention to do evil, but because you took somebody's advice and then it misled you, and now you want to blame them, but they were just advising you out of caring, because you were looking for advice and they wanted to say something, they wanted to be helpful. But trust me, with God you will never be disappointed. You will never ever be disappointed. So on this message today, through the dream that I had, I want to encourage someone to be careful. Watch what you eat, gatherings, things you attend to, workplace lunch. You know, don't leave your food unattended, don't leave your drinks unattended. There's people with evil intentions. Even though they smile on our face, they still have evil intentions. Some people, like, you know, in my life, I used to have someone who laughed a lot, and I would always be, at first I would justify it, but eventually I would always be like, why are you laughing when nothing is funny? This person likes to laugh even when nothing is funny, like when something is just not funny. There's nothing to laugh about, but they would just love to laugh. And they're the number one people who betraying me, in many ways. You know, when a person is praying for your downfall and hoping that you never rise, then they don't want you to be above them. Such people are not your friends. Such people are not your family. Such people are your enemy. They are your enemy. Hence I say that they were a sheep's clothing. They were a sister clothing, a brother clothing, a neighbor clothing, a colleague clothing, a friend clothing, but they're actually your enemy. So you need to, like, be descending and use your discernment to say, this is use your intuition to say, this is the energy or the feeling that I have with this person, because they did 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I don't like it, and this is how I feel this is wrong. Don't ignore that feeling. Do not ignore your intuitional feeling. Do not ignore your discernment, because you will definitely betray yourself. You will betray yourself, because once this person gets away with whatever it is they're doing to you, you will sit back and say, I knew it. I felt it in me that there was something wrong. I knew this person was up to no good, but you allowed them. You allowed them. That's why I look back in my past and say, I betrayed myself, and I would never do that again. I'm very vigilant now. I'm very aware and careful and cautious with who comes into my life and what are their intentions and plans. I don't unnecessarily go around making friends for the sake of having friends. Quantity is not important to me. Quality, even if I have one friend, even if I have none, I have quality in God, and I don't have to rely on other people for anything, honestly. And once you make that decision, God will bring destiny helpers, like good soul tribe people, who will become your family, who will become your friend, who will support you, who will become your neighbors, people that You know, you decide that I'm gonna walk alone with God, and on your journey you find that you need help, and help is always there from strangers. And meanwhile, you were afraid to leave behind old friends and family members because you thought, well, in this world we need them. You know, when you're in trouble, who are you going to call? But let me tell you something, God will bring into your life people that you did not even know could come into your life, people who are even more powerful, people who will help you without hesitation, people who will never judge you, people who will never criticize you, people who don't want to hurt you, people who just want to see you grow. These are ordained people, anointed people, especially anointed for you. So you don't have to worry about if I end certain relationships and connections and friendships and whatever ships, what's going to happen to me. You don't have to worry about that. Let God worry about that. Let God take care of that. Okay, so I want to encourage you today, be careful. Okay, not everyone is for you, and it's okay. You don't have to have a number of friends. Even if you walk this journey on your own, I walked my awakening journey by myself, and God brought to me very good spiritual people that hanged in there with me, and we grew together. And even though now we are distant, you know, there are people that I will always remember. Even when I'm alone, there are people that I'm able to call, because these are people that were ordained for me. Because even during my toughest moments, they never left. They stood by me, they prayed for me, they assisted me when I needed help. Such people are ordained by God, because they came immediately when I took the decision to go through an awakening journey of self-discovery, of self-growth, my spiritual awakening. And they came and they were supportive all the way, and we spoke the same language, if you know what I mean, like spiritual language, you know what I mean. So please be careful, be encouraged. God loves each one of us. As long as we surrender to Him and release and let go of people, things, and places that no longer serve their purpose in our lives, God is there to love each one of us. We don't have to hold on to things or people that hurt us. We don't have to hold on to pain, trauma, anger that belongs in the past. Leave it behind you. It's a new year, it's a new start. Start afresh, and God will bring new people and new things into your life. Trust God in all areas of your life. Yes, you will be tested. Yes, it's going to be hard. But just trust that God knows what He's doing. In my life, God is never late. He's never too early. He's just always on time. Sometimes I would tremble in fear. God, what am I going to do? You know, this is almost due. That is almost due. What am I going to do? And God would just show up on time. And that taught me to surrender. So, God bless you. I love you. Take care of yourself. Pray all the time. Turn to God with everything. Just turn to God.